Kids, it's Pastor Cozy. I hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving. We all know what comes after Thanksgiving, Christmas. And we at Kids have created a fun way for us to gather together and celebrate the good news of Jesus. So we are having next weekend the Kids Family Jubilation Christmas celebration. It's gonna be outside, it's gonna be safe, it's gonna be super fun. There's gonna be treats and a short movie and Christmas songs and a fun family activity. There's gonna be so much fun to be had. We hope that you can come. I've sent your parents the RSVP link, so just make sure they sign up. All right, we are going to explore the next part of God's story, and I will see you after for the reflection activity. I am known and loved by God. Jesus is my friend. I am a unique part of God's story. My true identity is in Christ, and I'm fully alive in the Spirit.
Zonda Kids presents the Jesus Storybook Bible. Every story whispers his name. Written by Sally Lloyd-Jones and read by David Suchet. A little servant girl and the proud general. Naaman was a very important man in a very important army of a very important country. So you see, he was very, very, very important. But Naaman was sick. He had leprosy, which is a nasty thing that stops you from feeling anything. Bits of you fall off without you noticing, like bashed fingers and squished toes. It might sound funny, but it wasn't. And Naaman certainly wasn't laughing. There was no cure. It never went away. And in the end, it killed you. Naaman needed help. Now, there was a little slave girl who worked for Naaman, and she knew someone who could help him. But there was a problem. Naaman was her enemy. Not long before, Naaman had led an army raid on her home in Israel. He had killed her whole family, carried her off to Syria, and made her into his slave. Every night she cried herself to sleep. She had lost everything. Why would she, of all people, want to help Naaman? Didn't she hate him and want to hurt him back? Didn't she want to make him pay for the wrong he'd done? That's what you would expect. But instead of hating him, she loved him. Instead of hurting him back, she forgave him. "I want Naaman to get well," she said to her mistress. "There's a man in Israel called Elisha who can heal him." "I'll go," said Naaman, loading up his wagons and putting on his flashing armor. "But I'll go to the palace because that's where someone important like me gets healed." So he hurried off to Israel and went straight to the king. "My healing, please," he announced. "Well, I can do lots of things," the king replied, "but only God can heal." Just then a message from Elisha arrived. "Send Naaman here," it read. So Naaman hurried off to Elisha's house. But Elisha didn't even come out and greet him. He just sent a servant instead. "Doesn't Elisha realize who I am?" Naaman thought. But what the servant said next made him even crosser. "Wash in there," he said. "Just wash?" Naaman laughed. "In that slimy, stinky river?" He looked around to see if this was some kind of joke. It wasn't. Any person can wash in a river, he thought. I am Naaman. I am important. I should do something important so God will heal me. And he rode off in a rage. Of course, you and I both know that's not how God does things. All Naaman needed was nothing. It was the one thing Naaman didn't have. God knew that Naaman was even sicker on the inside than he was on the outside, that Naaman was proud. He thought he didn't need God. His heart didn't work properly. It couldn't feel anything. You see, Naaman had leprosy of his heart. God was not only going to heal Naaman's skin, he was going to heal his pride. Naaman finally agreed to wash in the river, and instantly his skin became smooth like a baby. Naaman wanted to pay Elisha. God healed you. You can't pay, Elisha said. It's free. And so it was that a very sick man was healed, all because of a little servant girl who forgave him. God knew sin was like leprosy. It stopped his children's hearts from working properly, and in the end it would kill them. Years later, God was going to send another servant to forgive as she did, to forgive all of God's children and heal the terrible sickness in their hearts. Their hearts were broken, but God can mend broken hearts.
We can be thankful to God because God keeps his promises. So what you're going to do for your activity today is you are going to write a thank you note to God. So we have given you an envelope and a card. So I think we've given you two, so you can write two. So one to God and maybe one to a friend or a family member or maybe a teacher. So in your note to God, you can draw pictures or use words to tell God all of the things that you are thankful for. And then you can send one to a friend or whoever, and you can tell them how thankful you are that they are in your life. All right, it's time for the raffle. All right, this week's raffle winner is David Velasquez. All right, Mr. David, if you watch this video, tell your mom to text me or email me, hey, I watched the video, I saw that I won the raffle, and I'll send you your prize. All right, see you next time, bye.